So last time we have discussed about the view, right? Okay. So in Snowflake, there are two types of views are there. Okay. One is general view, and another one is materialized view. Okay. So there are two types. Let me open Notepad and show you the difference. Okay. The syntax is very simple. There is nothing, no need to worry about the no, um, complexity. Okay, it is a simple view. Okay. View versus materialized view. Okay. So view already we have discussed, correct? View is nothing but whatever you want to see the data. Okay, you can prepare the select query. On top of that, you can create a view. Okay, so that what it is, it will not store the data into the database physically. Okay, and it won't store the data in a table. Only the query and view name that will be stored under database. Okay, so whenever you select the view, at that time what it does, that view will be triggered to the select statement. That is how we have discussed. So simply, if I want to say very simple syntax, okay, create view, view name, temp table, okay, underscore view. This is the my view name, and select some column name, hmm, column 1 comma column 2 comma from table of temp table, actual table. Hmm, okay, temp table. So this is how the view. Okay, so this is the creation of view. Okay, it is a very simple statement. Whatever select statement you want to see the result, right? Okay, so this is your select statement, and every day if you want to say, if you want to see the data, and instead of having a separate query manually, you can create a view so that in database this view will be stored, but the data won't be stored like that. What is the advantage is here is you cannot maintain the data in the table permanently, so you can avoid the some cost, by avoiding the storing the data, okay, in the database. So that is how you can utilize the view. So you need to see in which area my view is required. Okay, that in that case only you need to prepare. So what I have seen in the real time, okay, we are not going to prepare the complex queries into the view. Okay, so that view is very simple. If there is any view which is selecting the limited columns and some selecting the limited data, okay, that kind of at that time, if I don't want to run another query, okay, then I'll go by with the view. Okay, so similarly, you what you need to do in real time whenever it is required, uh, because when you are developing the code, so at that time you realize whether do I need to create a view or not. Okay, so that time, yes, you can able to create a view. So to avoid a multiple queries or multiple steps, at that time also it is very useful. But only the thing is where the disadvantages of this view is, if you have a big complex query, okay, you have a more complex query and you are trying to retrieve the data from view, and every time if you are doing a validation, at that time it is a problem because every time you need to run a view and to see the data, and that is one thing. And whenever you create a view, right, you cannot modify the data on top of the view because retrieves the data from the base table. Okay, so that is the reason what will happen whenever you do something, any changes, right? So that will impact your, uh, I think based on this, right? The view, it won't impact on the base table. Okay, so that is how you need to look into actually. Hmm? So we will try whether it will impact to base table or not. And similarly, this view mainly whenever you have a simple syntaxes, simple querying the data with a limited less data at the time, yes, you can go ahead and create a view to avoid the multiple queries. Okay, so for example, you need to write some multiple inner joins or multiple queries that increases your query length. At the time you create a view, you just access that view and query, and I mean develop the queries. That is how it is very useful. But only the thing is, what you need to understand here is, this view, it does not store data in the database. Okay, the query, only the query, this will be stored. Hmm? So what you do after creating the view means, once you create this view, okay, then you need to run the view, you need to select the views, then only that view, it triggers the data. Okay, so when you run this select statement to the view, right? So what will happen, this view will be triggered and associated query will be triggered, and it pulls the data based on the select columns. Okay, so this is the view. And when it comes to the materialized view, okay, so that materialized view, what it is, it is the query will be stored in the database, as well as the data will be stored in the table. Okay, materialized view table. So here the data will be stored in the table like a table. Okay, even your query also, normal table also stores the data into the table. Materialized view also, it will store the data into the table. Then what is the difference mainly? Right, so this is how you need to think. Okay, why they have added a concept, that is very important. Already you have a table and you are loading the data. For example, same query I can write by using the materialized view. The view, here I'll write m view. It means materialized view, my table is materialized view. Now this view and this view is same, then what is the difference between these two? So this here, the view will be stored only view query. Okay. And anytime you can see the data. If you want to see the data, then you need to run a query. Hmm? Every time it queries the data at the time. It means in the base table, any changes happen. Base table means what? This is your base table. Okay. So if any changes happen, then when you run this view, those data will be reflected here. It means dynamically it will pulls the data at the time what data present in the temp table. For example, in temp table, when you run first time, you have 100 records, for example. After 2 days, same view if you run, if the temp table is having a 10 records or 100 millions of records, those data will be pulled out because it is pulled dynamically. Okay. Here, when it comes to the materialized view, what is happened? Your query will be stored in the database, as well as the data also will be stored in the database. So then what is the difference? Why can't we use this view instead of this means? The thing is, every time this query runs, okay, and whenever you do, if you want to do any validation, then always the query will be triggered. So simple queries, that is fine. Anyway, we also run the queries, right, for any data validation. At that time, those are okay, you can run. But instead of, if you want to do any validation on top of that, then what will happen? It is very difficult for the complex queries. So at that time, okay, you need to look for another alternative solution. That alternative solution is your materialized view. So that materialized view, what it is, this is also view, but it is physically store the data as well as materialized view. And the advantage here is, okay, you no need to generally previous databases, Oracle or any other database, when you create a materialized view, you have to refresh this materialized view. Then only generally you will see the data, the updated data. Otherwise, what will happen? The data will be there as it is when you run the first time. Okay. So here in Snowflake, what they have done, automatically, if there is any data changes in the base table, automatically materialized view, it will update the data. Okay. So that is one advantage. And once this materialized view created with the data, and whenever you do any validation, okay, then it won't goes to the again base query. Okay, so it will pulls the data from here only, so that your time also will be reduced, and as well as your cost also will be decreased. That is how the materialized view it will help you. So do we instead of that, why can't we create table itself? Same query, right? We can write the same query by having insert into. Hmm? Insert into stage underscore temp table and select star from. We can write this table, no? Why we need a materialized view again? Correct? But the thing is, you need to refresh every time to change the data. Here, what will happen? It will overwrite the table. It has to truncate, and then it is this data will be stored. So here, two operations every day you need to do manually or through the job. But here, the materialized view, generally you don't require. In case, if there is any changes, if you feel that didn't happen, at that time, you need to run the query manually. I mean, you need to refresh this materialized view. Otherwise, you don't require. Generally, you can run this view. So that compared to this, materialized view will be faster. So when we will use materialized view means whenever we need to improve the performance, at that time, yes, you need to use the materialized view. So this performance optimization, what concept we have, that also we are going to discuss. That topic will, under that topic, this materialized view topic will be going to be sit there actually. Okay. So you need to see the differences between the what is view and what is materialized view. And why can't we use generally normal stage table? So if you see this kind of differences, then you will get more clarity what is actually views and what is table, and which one is better suit for the development when you do the development. So in Vetrialize, whenever this tables being used, right, at that time you need to see what is the use case of mine. Okay, you need to look for the use case accordingly. You need to create this materialized view. Okay, now let's see the practical, and we see what changes and what is the benefit we get from the view, that we will see now. Okay. Okay, so this is my view. Already view I have created. This view I have created already. Okay, now I'm just re-executing this. Let's see what it says. Object demo SF demo SQL student V already exists. It means already it is there. Now, if I want to override this view, then what you need to do? Create or replace. You have to add one more function here. Okay. When you add this, right, what will happen? The existing view, whatever view present we have, right, in the database, that will be override. See, view successfully created. So whenever you replace the view, you need to see really, do you need any changes or not? Okay. At that time only you have to uh, do this change. Okay. And here, whenever you run the select statement, at that time only you will get the data. Select star from view. Okay. You got the result. Okay. Now I will go here and just check this query. Hmm. So when you run that query ID, right? Here it will show you the query profile. Okay, this query profile, what it is, it will show you how the data got scanned. Hmm? So now you see result student ID, student other column names, and the demo student. Okay, so you can see this flow. Hmm? Okay, so the table scan, which is the table scan, and those things it will show you. And what is this? Query details. Under that, you can see query details and SQL select star from student, not this one. The data. What data? You got it. Okay, so this result you can see here. Hmm? And if you see this profile, query profile, it will show you how this was executed here. Hmm? And the statistics. Okay, scan progress 100%. Byte scanned this much MB. Okay, so partition scanned one, partition total one. Okay, so a remote disk input and output 50%. This is very important actually. Now, same query if I run again, for example. Okay, now you see I'll close this one. Hmm, okay, and again I will run this query. Okay, see, it has taken query result resume. Okay, from where this was taken? This is taken from the buffer. Earlier, it was taken from the base table. Now it has taken from the buffer. So that this buffer data, same query, right? So the result will be stored. And how it was stored? That you need to see the designing and the architecture of the Snowflake, how they are storing this cache. And when you run this query, again, how exactly pulls the data from the same query. So that query it stores actually. It compares the query and pulls the data. So that is how it will run that much faster means the system designed like that. Okay, so everything you can see in the monitoring actually. Okay, you can see the profile of that particular query ID. And now what I will do, I will create a same okay, same with the materialized view. Hmm? Okay, so now you see MV. Hmm? Yeah. Materialized view MV successfully created. Okay. Now let's see this one. Okay, here first we will see whether this was created or not. Okay, MV already student MV. This is created. And the type you see here, right? Materialized view. Hmm? Okay, number of columns too. This information you can find it. If you see here, this is normal view. Okay, so if you go and definition, yes, you can find the definition as well. Okay, copy the definition whenever you want. Okay, I'm just copy pasting this here to see the difference. Create or replace view name. Okay, student view and the column select student ID. This is the view. And similarly, if I go materialize view, materialized view, same. Okay, now let me run this. Now I executed the query. Okay, now you see first time. So materialized view, when you run, right, it has taken from the data from the materialized view. Okay, so here to the resulted column. You see, it didn't trigger from the main table. But whenever you do any changes, okay, whenever you do any changes, so the data, what data I have here, demo, in the this is the table, right? I have extracted. Hmm? Now what I will do, I will insert few more records. Demo table, right? Okay. Bench, current. I'm inserting the data. Insert into. Okay. Now I'm going back. I'm going down and just checking the data from the view. Okay. Now the data we executed and we have seen 10 records, total 10 records. And now if you go to the view, that query ID, okay, query profile, it scanned from the table. Okay, every time what it does, it will push the data from the view. Okay, main base table. Hmm? Now, same what I will do. Now, I will run the query from the materialized view. Whether do I get this data or not, let's see. 133, 134. Hmm? Okay. 135, 133. Automatically, the view got refreshed, materialized view. I didn't trigger anything. Whenever it finds any changes, automatically this materialized view refreshes. Now we'll go see and see this data has been pulled out from the materialized view. So this advantage. So automatically, so this is kind of, you will not see much uh, differences, but what will happen whenever you run query, whenever you run the query, view what it does, every time it triggers the base table. And but this materialized view, what will happen? This materialized view, internally, it scans the table and refresh the data and store the data into the materialized table. Okay. I mean, we should not say table, it is a view. Okay. But the data will be stored here. Okay. This is mainly, to see this uh, to improve the performance. Now, what I will do, as I mentioned, third point, right? Why can't we use this one directly insert into a table? Okay. So this one, what will happen? Every time you need to insert the data, already we have practiced. We need to insert the data, and again, as well as we need to do some changes. Now, what I will do, whether shall we change the data on view? Okay, this view I have, right? I want to modify the data. For 133, I have a Kumar, right? For 133. So for 133, I need to change to ABC. So I have to perform update statement. Let's see whether this will change or not. Okay. In on view. Okay. I'm trying to update the data on view. So we have to see whether this update will happen on view or not. That we need to check. Okay. Update table view name. Set student name hmm, equal to ABC, where student ID equal to 133. Okay. Now let me see whether this we will update or not. Update statement target must be a table. Okay. See what is saying? This is your target table, target view. Okay. So when you are performing any update statement, the target means what? Your view name. It is not updating. Okay. Now similarly, we perform delete also. Delete from view. Okay. This kind of questions you will get in an interview. Okay. Please listen carefully. Hmm? Okay. Now let me run this delete statement also. Delete statement. Delete statement target must be a table. It means whenever you are performing update and delete, your table, I mean, you should have a table. You should not have a target as a view. Okay, same. Okay, truncate uh, view view name, because truncate table name we run, right? Similarly, I'm just trying to truncate like this. Let's see whether do I lost the data or not. Before I lost the base table, okay, what I will do, I'll take the backup for safer side. Why should I take the risk here? Correct. I'll take the backup. Create table name BKP as select star from table. I have taken the backup and I'm just executing this. Syntax error. Okay. Unexpected demo df. So you cannot perform the update, you cannot perform the delete, and you cannot perform the view also. I mean truncate. You cannot perform truncate on view. Now, similarly, what we do, we will use this same as in materialized view. Drop you can perform. Okay. If you want to drop a view, yes, you can perform a drop. Okay. Now let's see this. Okay. Update materialized view. Okay. So update same student MB, student name, this one. Okay. I'm just executing now. Let's see whether this materialized view also works fine or not. Hmm? Update operations are not allowed on materialized view. Okay. So here also same, because this is temporarily, I mean, the data will be storing in the table, but you cannot perform the updates. Okay. And this is also, let's see, delete statement must be a table. It is, sorry, MV, right? MV. Delete operation also not allowed. Hmm? And same way, truncate also it is not allowed, because same. But if you want to perform a drop, okay, yes, you can perform drop. Drop view name. Just give this view so that it will delete the view. You see, drop, because drop is mandatory to perform, right? Because if you don't want to create any view, then if you don't want, if you want to drop a view, this, yes, you need to perform. But apart from that, okay, update and where, sorry, delete, truncate, these cannot perform, because why? But the data view means, okay. Why view means, view is physically it is not storing the data. So fine. Okay. So we cannot delete any operations. That is okay. Now this particular materialized view, it is storing the data, right? Why can't we do the operations, delete or DML operations? Why can't we do? Because that also, yes, but in this, right, what is happening, this is also depending on your base table. Whenever you pull the data, okay, that dynamically it is giving you the best performance to have the latest data, but they have not allowed you to change the data on materialized view also. It means what? The delete and update operations and the truncate operations can be done on only tables. Okay. You cannot perform any delete DML operations and a truncate operation DML. If you say DML, again it will contains alter, drop and everything. So when you are saying, you need to say clearly, okay? You should not, by mistake also, you should not tell directly DDL. Okay? You have to carefully say when you are explaining. Hmm? So in, you cannot perform delete and insert and this update operations on materialized view and normal view. Okay, and only this can be, DML operations can be done on the table only. Whenever if you want to perform any data and anything you want to see, then you need to run in the base table itself. Okay, when you perform the, when you execute a view or materialized view, the data will be shown up, whatever data you want to see. Okay, this is major difference in the view. Okay, so we have a 1 minute time. Okay, again please rejoin the call again, the same link. Okay, I'll take another topic today. Hmm? So this is how you, the main differences between the uh, view and materialized view. These are all very, very important. And this materialized view concept will come on the, okay, performance topic. Okay, materialized view mainly. Okay. Okay. So any questions here? View and materialized view.